Ella, come watch your parents' rehearsal. We need your notes.
Mom, I'm watching TV.
Don't be stupid, Ella. I'm so much better than anything you can see on TV.
Hi, I'm Ella from Indiana, and I have the most embarrassing parents in the world. You don't believe me? See for yourself. But before that, please like and subscribe because MSA will give $1,000 to one lucky person who subscribes in the next 7 days. Ever since I can remember, my parents were obsessed with the idea of being famous movie stars, and they'd turn every single thing into a production.
Baby, are you ready for your first day of school?
Mom, why are you dressed like an octopus?
Oh, honey, we want to promote our new movie, Henry Potter and the Octopus Queen, at your school. All your friends and teachers will be so impressed.
Impressed? Everyone was making fun of me as I made my way to my class with my parents looking like cartoons. And the movie they were talking about was the one they'd made themselves, just like all the others, and it was terrible. This was the reason why growing up, I'd never let any of my friends come over. Even on my birthdays, I'd beg my parents not to throw me any parties. But once in 8th grade, my friend Maddie invited me to her birthday party, and Mom and Dad dropped me at her place. But instead of driving away, they parked and got out too.
Why are you guys getting out? We're here for the party, of course.
No, please do not tell me you're going to perform. Only they did. They went onto the stage and started acting out their latest play. And then to my horror, a random kid pointed and yelled, "Hey Ella, aren't those your parents?" What? Of course not. I've never seen those people in my life. Yes, they are. Why don't you go up there and join the circus freaks? A bunch of kids pushed me onto the stage and started laughing. But my parents kept on with their act and didn't even care how they were embarrassing me. I stormed out of there in anger, and that day, I decided I'd had enough. You guys are just making fools of yourself by acting this way, and you're making me miserable.
Ella, why can't you be supportive of our career?
Don't you understand? You're never gonna get famous like this. If you really wanted to make it, you'd be in Hollywood, not this dumb town. I didn't expect my speech to make a difference since they never listened to me. But this time, they did.
Ella, you've convinced us. You're brilliant. We're moving to LA.
Are you serious? Heck, they were, and I couldn't believe it. This was actually a good thing. I was so happy we were finally leaving this place, and I could start a new life. When it was time to go to my new high school, my mom placed a uniform in front of me. What's this?
You're going to a private school.
But we can't afford it.
This is a business investment, Ella. We found a school where all the famous people send their kids, and if you become friends with them, we'll become famous too. Connections are everything, darling.
It's not my job to make you guys famous. Please don't interfere in my life here.
What an ungrateful child. What will you say when we become more successful than you ever dreamt of?
I did go to the private school, but thankfully they didn't make a scene when I got out of the car on my first day. I was barely through the door of my class when suddenly I was ambushed by some students. Hi, I'm Kira. What's your name? I'm Ella. So, Ella, what do your parents do for a living? Suddenly, all eyes were on me, like this was the last winning question of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and I freaked out. They're movie stars. Wow, that's so cool. My mom's a director, and I'm sure they must have worked together. So, like, you're Ella Clooney, Ella Downey Jr., Ella Cruz? Tell me their names. You haven't heard from them. They're from Spain. That's why we're here, actually, to expand in the American market. That's awesome! Your American accent is so good. How do you speak such good English? Jesus, who was she? Some investigating officer? I had to change the topic. My mom's American. My dad's the one from Spain. Hey, who's that? That's my brother, Johnny. He's like the most wanted guy in school. If you want, I can introduce him to you. He was her brother?
He was so freaking hot.
She called him and he came waving at me in the most adorable way. Hi, Johnny. What's your name? Wow, that was brilliant. genius.
Wow, you're pretty and funny.
Funny? Phew. Johnny, her parents are famous movie stars from Spain, so much cooler than ours. OMG, my lie was going places now. But what was I supposed to do? Someone was actually talking to me on my first day, and the only reason they showed interest in me is because she thought my parents were cool. That day, I had so much fun hanging with Kira and Johnny. I finally had friends. Later when I went home, I felt kinda guilty about lying. So I decided that I was gonna tell them the truth. But the very next day at school, kids were going crazy around me. Apparently, Kira had told everyone how my parents were huge Spanish movie stars, and now everyone wanted to meet them. Holy Jesus! I ran to the washroom to get away from their questions for a while. Just then, I heard someone crying in one of the cubicles. Hi, are you okay in there? What happened? Suddenly, the door flew open, and a girl who looked like she had been crying a lot just pushed past me and ran away. That was weird. Later, I had a chemistry lab class, and everyone had to work in pairs. That's when I saw the girl from the washroom sitting all by herself, looking kinda sad. Hey, can I sit here? She nodded, and I sat down next to her, and she told me her name was May. So, May, will you tell me why you were crying earlier? First, she hesitated, but then she told me everything. I'm the only one here without a famous or super rich family. That's why everyone is always picking on me, especially Kira. She's the worst. Wow, I had no idea Kira was a bully. I felt really bad for May, and I wanted to tell her I was just like her. But I decided it was best not to tell the truth to anyone. I didn't want to be bullied like her too. We did the experiment and got along really well. She was the sweetest person I'd ever met. That was so much fun. Maybe we can get some pizza after school today? I was about to say yes when suddenly Kira came and locked her arms with mine. No thanks. Ella's got better friends, so why would she waste time with a nobody like you? Saying that, she pulled me away with her. And even though I wanted to push her off and walk back towards May, I just couldn't. At this school, people like Kira ate people like me and May for breakfast. I just saved you from being friends with a loser. You're so lucky to have me. Hey, that's really mean. You're welcome. Later, she took me to her house, and there was a huge pool where Johnny was swimming like a mermaid. My jaw immediately dropped. But before I knew it, I was suddenly pushed into the pool. Kira, what was that? Chill out, Ella. I was just having fun. What if I didn't know how to swim? Oh, right. That slipped my mind.
Hey, Ella, ignore my sister. She's a little crazy. But look at you. Wow, you look just as gorgeous in the water as you do in the sun.
God, my heart skipped a beat as he came closer. But just then, Kira jumped into the water and ruined the moment. You know what? I've got a great idea. Seeing you with that loser girl, what's her name again? February, March, something, May? Yeah, whatever. Let's prank her.
Why?
'Cause it's funny, and she's a loser, and no one will care. She'll care.
Why do you want to bother her?
What's your problem? You, Kira. I wanted to say that to her face, but just then Johnny spoke up and asked her to stop being a brat. At least he was nice. A few days later, I was on my way to the chemistry lab when I saw Kira standing outside with her minions and giggling. What's going on? Shh, come here and look. See that flask in May's hand? It's gonna blast in her face as soon as she puts the chemical into it. And why would it do that? Because we switched the chemicals. Don't worry, it won't kill her. It'll just be funny. God, she was such a devil. I immediately ran in and flicked the chemical flask away from May's hand. Ella, what was that? Are you okay? Oh, yeah, totally. I just slipped. And I'm really sorry about Kira the other day. Do you want to grab some pizza after school? I would love to. Kira glared at me with devilish eyes, and after class, she walked up to me and whispered, "You ditched me for this garbage? Now get ready to be loaded into the same garbage truck with her, Ella." Kira's threat was creepy, but I was done with these superficial people. I started hanging out with May, and for the first time, I had a good friend. She cared about me and not my parents or their status. Then one day while I was having lunch with May, Johnny came to me and apologized for Kira's behavior.
it's my birthday party, and I really want you to come, Ella.
I looked at May and she winked at me with a smile. But May comes with me too.
Sure, as long as you're there, the entire city is welcome.
We were really excited about the party and went shopping for some cute dresses. And when we got to the party, we were blown away. Almost everyone from school was there, and it was so grand. I saw Johnny dancing with some girls in the distance, but before I could go up to him, Kira came over to me. Hey, Ella. I'm glad you could make it to my little surprise party. Your surprise party? What are you talking about? Just then she pointed in the other direction, and my heart dropped when I saw Mom and Dad there. Oh my God, this was a nightmare. But Kira's loud voice was more than enough to tell me all of this was frickin' real. Guys, why don't you introduce yourselves to everyone?
Oh, hi, y'all. We're Ella's parents, and we've come from Indiana to get our careers going.
Now, where are all the other
Famous parents.
Everyone gasped and turned to me, even May. She looked so disappointed in me, and I had no one but myself to blame for this. Did you hear, everyone? These are Ella's parents, and they're not from Spain, and they're not big movie stars. They're just struggling losers, and Ella's a big fat liar. Yes, okay, I lied. Only because I wanted to make some friends, but it didn't take me too long to realize I was wrong, because lying can only get you fake, awful friends, like you, Kira. As everyone stared at me, I saw Johnny grinning too. Of course he was in on this. I couldn't stand to be there any longer and ran away. I didn't go to school for days. I felt so ashamed of my stupid lie, and I was afraid of how everyone was going to treat me. Until one day, May texted me and said she was going to be there with me no matter what, and that made me feel a little braver. I just had to face the music. Everyone in school was acting like I didn't even exist. But during recess, I was sitting with May in the cafeteria when a bunch of kids came running and gathered around me. Oh my God, was I about to get bullied?
Ella, I can't believe I saw your parents that day. Can you please send me their autographs?
Are you gonna work on another movie set? Gosh, you're so lucky. Take me with you. I'll do your homework for a year. What were they talking about? Just then, I noticed my phone was buzzing like crazy, and I had text messages from Mom.
Ella, we made it. We're famous. In your face.
I opened the news link she'd sent me and almost fainted. My parents, my actual parents, had both been cast in a highly anticipated superhero movie, and they were Hollywood's new breakthrough stars. Everyone was talking about them on social media. Just then Kira came running and hugged me. I'm so sorry we fought, bestie. Let's just forget all that. My mom is dying to meet your parents. And look, there's Johnny. And look, there's a garbage bin. Why don't you and your stupid brother jump in there? I pushed her away and put my arm through May's as we walked off. Ella, can I get a selfie with your parents? Of course! And tickets to the premiere and anything else you want, May.